listen. Suck my. You will be here in the court on Monday. You'll be here sucking my. Will listen.
I wouldn't say this is exactly how these meetings are going. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Really happy to see you back. And today, for the second time, I'm gonna react to project management related TikToks. I'm a senior project manager. I worked there for many years and I have quite an experience in the field. So I'm genuinely interested in what TikTok kind of suggests to project managers. As the last time, I haven't seen these TikToks yet. I asked a friend to collect them for me to react and share my opinion on is it any good. Without further ado, let's go.
If you're interested in being a project manager, here are 5 reasons why you may not want to be a project manager, okay? Now, I always advocate for being a project manager, but it's good to know the cons as well. So number 1, if you're a person that likes validation, you rarely get that as a project manager. Why? Because if something is successful, either the technical team or the business takes the credit. On the flip side, though, number 2, if something goes wrong, you are one that mainly are taking the punches because you are accountable for everybody's work and time. Number 3.
Okay, let's pause here. I would say I'm partially agree. I do understand and experience myself a feeling when something is not going well, and as a project manager, you're the only one to blame because the essence of your job is to get things done, right? And if something is not happening well, it's either planning a mistake or some risk that has not been properly considered. So I do understand. At the same time, I think that the first point that she made about if everything is going well, the team takes the credit, but not you. I think that it really depends on the culture of the company you work in. Because I remember in my experience cases where even with the big team of experts that has been involved in the project, the actual project manager had got a lot of credit for the success and he or she was the one to praise for the success. I would even say that maybe it's to a certain extent helpful for a project manager to be, let's say, a little bit humble, because in the end you have a team of experts who are doing the project, and it's sometimes even easy to drag a spotlight towards yourself. But what I would rather recommend doing is to, of course, showcase and spotlight the team. But generally, especially regarding the second point that she made about you will get all the punches, 100%. Absolutely agree. Been there, done that from both sides, actually.
Number 3, if you don't like to lead meetings, well, project management will be a hard job for you because you are 99% of the time putting the meetings on people's calendar to lead them because you need the information. Number 4.
I'll pause here as well. So I think I also partially agree, partially disagree, because on one hand, she's absolutely right that as a project manager, you're the one who is initiating the contact. You schedule the meetings. It's often your job to bring people together, to ensure that they agree on something, to ensure that communication is going properly. So generally, I would say, yes, she's absolutely correct. The only thing I would say disagree is that she's saying that introverts or hate leading meetings. Hate leading meetings, yes, but introverts, I disagree. So here's the thing, being introvert and being shy are 2 different things, and rather introverted people can be really successful project managers. Even more than that, sometimes it's easier for an introverted person to facilitate the meeting because although you initiate the conversation, you're not the expert in the team. So your job is to, let's say, spotlight to a certain extent members of the team who are in the project. So I partially agree with introverts remark. I don't think it's true, and I honestly don't believe that we have to connect a certain type of jobs to how introverted or extroverted the person is. I even made a dedicated video on how can you approach a career if you're an introvert or you think about yourself as an introverted person. So I will link it somewhere here for you.
Number 4, you get overwhelmed quickly by wearing multiple hats. That speaks for itself. And number 5.
That's interesting. Getting overwhelmed by wearing multiple hats. I think what you may refer to is there is a concept of 6 thinking hats. It's quite famous actually. So you have white, red, yellow, black, blue and green. And each hat represents a certain way of thinking. For example, person who is wearing a black hat represents a judge who is criticizing, kind of the person who is responsible for the critical judgment of everything that is happening. And the person in a green hat, for example, is responsible for creative thinking. The idea behind the framework is that if you want to have a well-rounded discussion, you need to look at the problem from different angles. And sometimes it's even helpful to allocate to different people you're talking to different hats for them to be responsible for a certain side of the conversation. We do indeed change hats quite often, and especially in the project management role, I agree you have to do this a lot. I can recall multiple times where I even remember that I can say it out loud for the people who are familiar with the concept. Hey guys, let me for a minute take the black hat, put it on, and try to criticize what we've just discussed, because sometimes it's helpful. And going back to what she said, yes, you have to switch hats a lot, and yeah, it's a part of the job, most definitely.
And number 5, imposter syndrome. If you suffer from imposter syndrome, you'll be sitting in rooms with a lot of people that may intimidate you and may feel like you don't belong. So
That's interesting. Generally, I would say that imposter syndrome is something that can spoil almost any work that you're doing, and it's not directly connected to a project management. The nature of the role indeed kind of pushes you towards communicating with senior management a lot. That can be intimidating sometimes. But if I speak about my own experience, honestly, I've met a lot of really friendly and approachable senior managers in my life, and honestly, quite some intimidating peers, people who were on the same level with me. So you never know. But at the same time, I understand what she means. And if you're easily intimidated by communication with higher management, in project management role, it's usually associated with that. So you need to bear this in mind. Okay, let's move to the next one. Day in life of a project manager. Okay. 6:30, gym. Okay. $7:30, get ready to work. Okay, 8:30 start. Okay, so it's not about the working day actually, just generally it's 4:30. Nice. Okay. So this TikTok was not obviously about the details of the project manager work, but more of a what is the daily routine that she is following. Here, actually, it's not much to comment. I would say that start at 8:30 and end at 4:30. It can be realistic, depends on which country and which culture you're working in. Because I remember when I used to work in Russia, I would never end my working day before 6, although I usually start at 8:30, give or take. But for example, right now I work in the Netherlands, and here work-life balance is much more important for people, which is generally absolutely amazing. So if you're able to maintain the schedule, good for you, super happy for you. At the same time, I can understand that for a lot of people in, let's say, countries where the work-life balance is a little bit more on the back, and I can personally relate to that, it is a little bit of an unrealistic day to end your day as a project manager at 4:30. I mean, I cannot imagine that in Russia, in most of the companies. And also from what I have heard and what I know about the business culture in US, I kind of feel that it's not really realistic for US either. Maybe for some companies, but yeah. So I would say really happy if your working day looks like that. Sometimes it's not realistic, and it's just the way it is. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, another day of a life.
Okay, so I start my day off at 6:30 usually every day. I go through my routine. I take my time because I don't have a set time to be at work. I get to set my own hours,
so
which
nice to
is
see.
lovely. I do my makeup and my hair. I found this cute little note from my boyfriend.
Okay, this is also kind of a lifestyle.
Driving to work, y'all. Getting gas because you can't drive without gas. Shoe check. Love my shoes. Buckle your seatbelt. I get to work. So I usually just start off checking emails, checking partner communications, anybody who's been emailing me, any like tickets.
I pause it here because I think this is also kind of the part of the regular routine. Almost all the time you start your work with checking emails, messages and everything, because you are the one to react when something is not going well. You're the one to control and monitor everything. So that's, it's just the routine of the morning of a project manager.
All that jazz that I need to follow up on. That's what I start doing here to set the tone for the day. Then I go to my favorite spot, the ice bar. Love the ice bar. Like, y'all, it's so bomb. And then by the time it is time for lunch, so I go get my lunch.
That was fast.
I set myself up for lunch because I don't play about my lunch. So y'all see me wiping down the tables. Literally all the rooms in my job have these wipes.
I will pause for a second, but I mean, side note, I think that this is actually really cool that the person is having enough energy to not only focus on the work itself, but on a lot of details that surround work, right? To have lunch in a proper time, in a place that you like, to take care of small things. She also mentioned kind of set intention for the day. I think this is absolutely amazing, and we often neglect these things. We're so focused on the actual work that should be done that we take away all the joy and fun and something that could make it more enjoyable for us. So generally, I really like the approach.
After I eat, because I can't be slacking. Midday slump is hitting here. That's why you see me spinning.
Okay.
More meetings with partners and other stakeholders.
Meetings, yes, stakeholders.
Fun sometimes. Then I'm going to the snack room, y'all. Look at my job snack room. It's like this.
Okay, so I definitely agree. So a huge chunk of your time will be dedicated to stakeholder meeting, talking to everyone, organizing people to talk to each other. That's definitely a part of the job.
Snack room. It's like this on all floors. Like every snack room is different on each floor.
Snack room.
Then I'm doing some more work in the sun, and it was wind down Wednesday, so I wanted to grab me a little drinky drink.
Okay.
Look at the views. Loved
Nice
it.
view.
And then by that time, it's usually time for me to go. This is like 6:30, so I'm packing
6:30.
myself up. Had to go
More
pick
realistic.
something up from the kitchen. And then I'm in the elevator, ready to go downstairs.
But depends on when
I
you
love
start.
this little wave thing. We literally don't have to touch any doors. And then, that's a day in the life of a project.
Okay, all right. This was also kind of more of a general lifestyle TikTok. You know what I liked so far? None of them said that they're going home and they're sending work emails or something, which sometimes we kind of want to do, but you just don't want to do that. So generally, I would say good work-life balance sounds healthy to me.
Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You ain't gonna tell me shit. Listen, suck my shut up, listen to me. Suck my you man. Listen, suck my you will be here in the court on Monday. You'll be here sucking my well, listen.
I wouldn't say this is exactly how these meetings are going, but the underlying message behind this is pretty straightforward. Sometimes project manager works as a translator between the developer and the client, works as a, how do you say that, like, as a cushion? You have to manage different stakeholders, you have to manage your team members. All of them have different interests sometimes, and they have different, let's say, things they can be emotional about. So yeah, I would say one of the sides of the job is to kind of maybe facilitate the discussion in a way that people could speak productively. Always think about who do you invite and why are you doing that, if the discussion can be actually productive in the setup that you are organizing. I would say if something like that is happening, it's rather a failure of the project manager, just the way it is. Okay, that was honestly super fun. I absolutely enjoyed that. I really like that actually all of the TikToks are made by women, sometimes women of color. I so like that so many people are represented in TikTok really well. Absolutely love it. I wish all the ladies the best of luck in their career paths. I will take them down below actually. And I really hope that my thoughts on that were interesting to you. If yes, let me know. If not, let me know. And I will see you in the comment section. Bye!